Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So first of all, welcome to Enotria, the last song running on the GTX 1650 Super. And as usual, let's start right now with the settings. 1080p, I'm using basically FSR on its quality mode, and I'm using the absolute lowest settings in here. So this is the lowest you can go. And yeah, unfortunately, let me just show you again, just for you to have an idea that, yeah, it's everything on the lowest. And we are running with the GTX 1650 Super, which, yes, it has 4 gigabytes of VRAM, but the minimum of the game specifies that you need at least 6. So the VRAM is entirely full, and that really compromises a lot of the game's performance. So this is a kind of a different video than I usually do, because without recording I pretty much get overall 60 frames per second, 50 frames per second with no issues whatsoever, more and less throughout the majority of the places where I did spend my time. And it was running fine, but as soon as I started recording, frame rate really tanks. It got down to 26 frames per second, 29, and without recording I just get like 50 frames per second, and it doesn't matter if I decrease FSR to balance or performance. It's not going to change that much because the VRAM is so full that the PCI Express slot just gets completely overrun by data, and performance just tanks because you really need more VRAM in order for this game to be decently playable. And you can say something like, oh yeah, but you are recording, so without recording results will be much better, like 60 to 50 frames per second. Well, yes, results are much better, although on the first boss fight that I had, I was having like 60 frames per second, and in the middle of the boss fight, out of nowhere and without explanation, well, I know the explanation, the VRAM was full, alright, the game just drops the frame rate to 30 to 40 out of nowhere, so I had to restart the game, and after restarting the game, it was cool and all. Performance was just very well playable. So what does this mean? It means that this is just the early moments of the game, and I was having issues with VRAM even before, alright, even before starting recording or doing anything. So I can assume that throughout the game we will encounter areas which will try to use more VRAM and it won't be available, and the performance will probably just tank to 30, 20s, 10, who knows how much lower it can drop because we don't have enough VRAM. So it is playable. You can start the game, something that it isn't really possible on the new God of War Ragnarok. It just crashes and gives you an error saying that you don't have enough VRAM. But Enotria allows you to start the game, although how the experience will be throughout the rest of the game, well, in that case, I honestly don't know, and I don't really recommend. I don't recommend that you go and buy this game with a 4 gigabyte graphic card at the moment, because I don't think it is possible to play the entire game with a stable experience without the VRAM getting overrun or something like that. And yeah, the minimum requirement says it all. It needs a 6 gigabytes VRAM GPU, so I think it's well explained. We are trying to play with 4, so issues are bound to happen. Again, another victim of the 4 gigabytes of VRAM from the GTX 1650 Super. Alright, guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about in Enotria, the last song. Hope you did enjoy the video. Hope I did clarify. In case you have any doubt, just leave on the comment section of the video. And that's it. Thank you a lot for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye. Muerte.